materials, the body, what all the different materials are available, and what all the materials are exhibiting the good mechanical properties, the thermal properties, and ductility, load bearing capacity. So these are the some of the small ideas which we are necessarily all the engineers must have to know them, because once at all, if they want to do something else and get a creative physical output, that time to create the physical model of it, all these materials plays very important role. So we understood so far the composite materials, we understood, and we understood different alloys of metals, non-metals, and alloys of non-metals. Okay, all these we have understood. Now let me go through the piezoelectric materials. So here I put one small figure, you can able to understand by the looking into the figure itself. Once a load is applied on it, these are the non-conductive materials. The piezoelectric materials are those. These materials will be exhibiting the piezoelectric effect. Okay, when they are loaded. When we are going to apply the load on them, due to this there will be deformation of this material. Due to the deformation or change in the shape of the material, there will be a strain induced in the material. Due to change in the strain in the material, what happens? The resistivity will be getting changed and the electromotive force will be proportional to the applied load. So in other words, we can say corresponding to the applied load, there will be a output voltage, or simply corresponding to the input voltage, there will be mechanical strain in the material, vice versa, both the way. Now these piezoelectric materials, just before we get into this, we'll try to understand what is this piezoelectric effect. One of my students, he did piezoelectric effect, one small work he has done. If you want, I'll be kicking the video of it and just present it to you next class. Piezoelectric effect, it is the fundamentally we studied in the high schools also. Certain materials, non-metallic materials, they exhibit certain different properties. When they are subjected to electric field, there will be a change in the mechanical output. Or in other words, we can say, when you are going to apply the load onto this material, there will be change in the resistivity of this materials and the output voltage will be proportional to the input applied load. So due to this particular very different type of the material characters, we can use them as transducers or the sensors also. They can able to sense something else. What is the meaning of a sensor? A sensor is a device which will sense something else and convert this into a comprehensive way. For example, I want to know the light sensor which will sense the light and it will convert it to other way, which we can, it will be simulating, it will be recognizing it and it will change it as atmosphere when it is recognizing a particular identifiable objects. Okay, this is how we can just look into this piezoelectric effect. I think you can able to understand this. A small circular disc which I have shown, the two arrow marks will be indicating a compressive load is applied onto this. When a load is applied onto this, what happens? There will be deformation of the material. Due to this deformation or change in the size of the material, the strain will be induced in this material. The strain induced due to this, there will be change in the resistivity of these materials. So that will be proportional to the output voltage. So definitely indirectly we can say, based on this input or applied mechanical input, the proportional voltage output we can able to find it out. Or in other way we can say, when you are going to subject this particular material between the electric charge, there will be a stress developed in these materials in another way. Okay, you can go in the forward way or reverse way. Both are the piezoelectric effect. And one of the material which generally we are going to use is a quartz. That will discuss in the next slide. You can see them, the crystal. Okay, so here you can see I have given some the introduction to this. Okay, and basically these piezoelectric materials can be divided into two groups. One is the crystals and then is a ceramic material. I told you already, these are non-metallic, okay, non-conductive materials. These are non-conductive materials, and the mostly in all the type of the applications, the quartz will be used as the piezoelectric material. Okay, and here I have given the next sentence. You can see that when the strain is applied, when the load is applied, there will be a change in the strain and there will be a change in the electric field. So this will be, or this trend of nature will be very much suitable for to use these piezoelectric materials as actuators or for the sensors. What is the actuator? The meaning of actuator is when you are going to give the electric input, it will be giving you certain mechanical output that will become an actuator. The actuator meaning is that only. Whenever you are going to give the input voltage or input current is given to the system, it will be giving you the mechanical output that will be called as actuator. There may be a rotary actuator or linear actuator. Okay, whatever the two types of actuators are there. Okay, you have seen that JCB and all, there will be pneumatics or hydraulic cylinders will be there. That will be a hydraulic actuator. Like that. Actuator is one which will be giving you the mechanical output by taking some other form of input. Here the electrical input and the output will be a mechanical output. So these crystals or these piezoelectric materials will be quite suitable to be used as actuators. For MEMS and nanorobots and all, this will be used. Okay, one thing. The second one is it can be used as a sensor. A sensor is a system or a device which can convert or it will identify one thing and it will be converted into other form. Okay, these are the sensors will be this. Okay, this can be used as a sensor and this can be used as the actuators also. Okay, this is, and some of the piezoelectric materials other than these quartz, we have the lithium tantalum and polyvinyl fluoride and potassium sodium tartrate, like that. Some of the different metals are also available, and most possibly will be using the quartz as the piezoelectric material for certain most of the applications.